Hi, I love reading books about book covers and also book covers for a particular publisher. And sadly, there's very few. You can see here Penguin, there's Puffin, Mills and Boone. There's very few, but still, I'm just going to go through the ones I've got. It'd be great to hear of some. Maybe there are some books like Nell, Panther, all those ones. Why? Why are there not more Valentine books? Still, Penguin by Design. I think this is one of the best. A cover story, 1935, 2005. I just love this book. It's just full of so many examples. And of course, it got the first one. Penguin Books. I did have a copy of that one time. Sadly, I got rid of it. I don't know what happened to it. Doing one of my moves, I think I must have got rid of it. And I think, oh, why? Because at one time it was quite easy to get lots of these old covers. I picked up quite a few of these old ones. And also Pelican Books. I love those ones as well. Occasionally you can still find them. Modern German art, film. I think they do turn up in my local Oxfam ones occasionally, but probably not as common. And actually even some of these ones I have seen over the years. Popular English Art, Book of Toys. They were quite thin books, but still fascinating. And these sort of ones as well. You can see lots of different covers there. Between Two Wars, Germany, there, My Finished Diary, and many film reviews. They did turn up. Not, I say, so common now, but still, none of these ones. I don't think I've ever seen that. Transatlantic. And whatever, let's see. Oh, I had that copy as well. Homer, The Odyssey. Again, one of those ones I wish I'd kept. I don't even know when it was. 1946, apparently. They turned up, but now, not so common. Oh, I love that. You got there the actual, obviously, experimental layout. That's the sort of thing I love about books, when they show the examples of books that obviously never came out, or the ones that are sort of the template for all the others. You got here Buildings of England, and you can go through the whole of this book, and it's just full of page after page. I remember that one as well. Penguin Science Fiction. Oh, brilliant one. Breakfast at Tiffany's as well. I assume, yes, 1961, obviously when the film was out. And there you got the Great, oh, that's lovely, the Great Escape one. Don't think I've ever seen a copy of that. But The Big Show, obviously the war books there. Art Direction, 1960s. I loved the 1960s, 70s books. And these ones especially, all these sort of crime ones. Sweet Danger, Busman's Honeymoon. I think these ones do turn up. You can find them, but I guess at book fairs, all those sort of places, all those ones as well. American Capitalism, Art and Revolution, The Violent Gang, Britain in the Century of Total War, The Waning of the Middle Ages. Some really great books all the way through this. Some of the art design was just superb back in the 70s. I love these. Oh, that was a brilliant one. Edna O'Brien. And also She Came to Stay. I remember having that. I don't remember that one. Didn't get that one. But certainly some of these. And the ones I really love, like the J.G. Ballard ones, they were just great. I was a mega fan of J.G. Ballard. Oh, and these. So again, just page after page of just great example. Francois Sagan. Just glorious books. And Graham Greene, and also Library of Physical, and many, many more. Actually, I was just trying to flick through, see if I could see those ones, the old, always away when you look for them, you can't find them. Oh, here it is. Here's some Tiger. Not the Ballard ones, though. Alfred Bester. I just love those. I don't know why. It was something, oh yeah, Wind from Nowhere, J.G. Ballard. Just brilliant book. I think that was one of his earliest ones. Certainly fairly early, 1967. Covered by Alan Ulrich. I love those ones, Alan Ulrich. I've got a lovely Alan Ulrich book, and it's just brilliant. Just absolutely, I love his artwork. This one just came a couple of days ago. I've never heard of it before. 50 Penguin Years. Not superb. I mean, it's not as good as that one. I think that one's pretty amazing. But it does include lots of great examples of covers and also great pictures of various, obviously, bookshops back in the day. No idea where that was, but it probably says. Don't know. Hamlet, of course, you got there, but you've got lots and lots of examples all the way. Oh, same one I said earlier. Popular English Art. Now, unfortunately, this book, of course, is mainly in black and white. There's some colour in the back. Stealthy Terror, John Ferguson, A Penguin Mystery. Never seen that one, but lots and lots of information. Popular art in the United States. Penguin produced millions of great books, and of course, Odyssey again, Homer, The Odyssey. Always love those editions. Those ones are great. The Dam Busters, The Cruel Sea, The Greek Myths. Oh, that was good. Oh, I'd love to get a copy of that. I think it's probably quite expensive, that one, somehow. The Medium is the Massage. Apparently a mistake, maybe, but it's still, what a great cover, all the same. Britain in the 60s, all those sort of books, always fascinating. French Revolution, 1968. Must look out for that one. I suspect, again, probably quite expensive. Whole Earth Catalogue, always remember, never got a copy of that. Remember seeing that in my local big massive Kent library, Springfield Library. That was just always pour out through that. I thought, what a brilliant book. Language and Science, Diary of Virginia Woolf. Oh, June Penguin. That's one thing I've always wondered. And I don't know, I've never found a copy, and maybe I can't remember the name. And please put in the comments below if you remember what they were called. But you could get, in lots of the shops in the 1970s, you go to a bookshop, and they used to have piles and piles in front of the front desk, and you would have all the catalogues, literally the Penguin catalogue. And I think every month, you would have a list. It was just list after list after list, and you could obviously probably tick it and send off your order for particular books. And I've never found a single copy of any of those catalogues. They probably go for crazy amounts of money. I don't know. And also, when I've been to book fairs, I've asked, and people just sort of scratch their head thinking, maybe I'm just imagining it, but I do remember getting like the Pam ones, all those sort of ones, and you pick them up all the time. And they were just great, again, filled with lots of, all I remember, certainly lots of pictures of these sort of book covers. I wish I'd kept them, but I didn't, because they were sort of ones, again, that lovely Edna O'Brien one, I'd just throw them away. Tiger, again, a brilliant book. Don't remember that one, Jub. Watership Down, I remember reading that was good. Phoenix and the Carpet, E. Nesbit there. Puffin Quartet of Poets, and so on. But those catalogues, it'd be great to find at least one copy, a tatty copy maybe, but it would be brilliant. But I think it requires you to know the name of what they were called. Penguin catalogue doesn't really do much. It brings back lots of other stuff. Puffin by Design, 70 years of imagination. I suspect they also had some catalogues. Of course, nowadays, you can go online and find lots of the e-catalogues, and they're brilliant, especially if you go like, I don't know if you've ever gone German or French or Portuguese or Spanish, but some of their design. You go to get their catalogues, and they're obviously PDFs or something. Their catalogues are amazingly beautiful. So I think, I don't know if Penguin, I think Penguin has as well. I occasionally get those sort of catalogues sent to me and things. I look at them and I think, oh, maybe I should go. But still, I love those ones. They were always Puffin. I remember those sort of landscape ones. Really nice. Pond Life. I don't know, in 1964, I must have had loads of those when I was younger, but I do recall those sort of ones. Maybe it was school. I can't remember. I certainly remember these ones. Brer Rabbit. And again, that was probably, when was that? 1945. Sort of thing, of course, a lot of these books were all around. I mean, when I was obviously in the 60s, you would pick up these books and, they were, you'd go to your aunts or you go to your nan or something and you'd find like, oh, read this for the day or something. You'd be sitting there reading while they were obviously went off and chatting and you'd go off in the garden or whatever. Concrete Houses, I love that. Trees in Britain, all those sort of books. But these are great, these sort of ones. Treasure Island, Little Women, I remember those ones as well. Just beautiful. And I guess they're quite collectible as well now, I would imagine. Ventures of Tom Sawyer, of course, Secret Garden. That's a lovely cover there. Dawn Treader. I never said that one. C.S. Lewis, Voyage of the Dawn Treader. An unusual title. The Magician's Nephew. I love those ones. Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe was one of my favourites. I loved reading that when I was younger. Just amazing fantasy. Lorna Doone. I remember watching that on TV. That was just brilliant. There's something tonight. There's Gallows something. I'm looking forward to watch that, actually. That sounds interesting. Noah's Castle. I loved watching that. That was on recently on Talking Pictures TV. Really worth checking out. I don't know if it's been on recently, but certainly it was about a year ago or two. You could see Noah's Castle. That was good. The Growing Summer. Puffin quiz books and things. I remember the crossword puzzle books as well. Absolutely brilliant. Puffin Book of Magic. The Puffin Joke Book. What's that one? Oh, Robert Heinlein one. I love that. Citizen of the Galaxy. Is anyone there? Edited by Monica Dixon. Of course, they're still right. You can find these quite often in the various Oxfams and things. Quite often these sort of Father Christmas one turn up. Quite easy. In Snowman, of course, as well. Also, lots of other books there. And many others. So this book is absolutely brilliant. Filled with some great Puffin ones. Here's my earliest copy of a Penguin book. Penguin Books, Memoirs of Hadrian. And this is just brilliant. 3 and 6. A mere 3 and 6. But what a great book. Now, I wish I'd kept more of my penguins. There's a few places where you can pick up loads of penguins. Tunbridge Wells, there was a great Oxfam there, and they used to have like thousands. Now, maybe they still have, but there are lots of old penguin books, and I often picked up lots of them. And I think I probably got my copy there. Like I say, unfortunately, over the years, I've got rid of a number of Penguins. Not actual Penguins, but Penguin books. The Penguin Modern Classics book, absolutely brilliant. This is a super thick tome and a bit like the catalogues I was talking about, except in this case it's in a real... Now, it would be a bit excessive back in the 70s if I went into the bookshop and there were like massive catalogues like that, and they were all free, of course. That would have been amazing. But also, there's also an equivalent book for the classics, not modern classics, but ancient classics, as well as, obviously, fairly ancient classics. This is just full of so many brilliant, and again, of course, the classic first one there, Ariel. I think it's the first one, probably. I don't know. I always assume it's the first one. Yes, it says there, the first Penguin was Ariel, a romantic biography of the poet Percy Bysshe, I could probably say his name completely wrong, Shelley, of course. Wow, great book. And then you got there the modern age, and you've got there the artists' manifestos, why are we artists, and so on. Literally thousands and thousands. Very small though, unfortunately. If you really come into this thing, it's going to be a real big... It would have been a huge tome if they'd gone for a real mega massive book, wouldn't it? It'd be, and actually had all the covers as they probably should have been. But still, the British Isles, you got there, obviously Ireland, Oscar Wilde. And there's a lot... Now, obviously not every single book has been published by Penguin. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Of Oscar Wilde. But there's a fair number. You got here a picture of Dorian Gray, and you got a cover there. Now, of course, you can see there, it's what was the one? 1949, 1962, 1985. Now, I don't know, I assume 1962 copy there. Doesn't look like the earlier 1949 one. I might be wrong. George Bernard Shaw, and of course, that shows you there's obviously lots more Oscar Wilde books than that. They've obviously only got about 3 or 4, but still, it's got information about them, and you can see there, cover W.B. Yeats. This one, it says 1993, short fiction. It's got a little there. Now, it's got covers, I think, for all of them, all the books, but obviously it's selected a particular cover that they think that's the best one to show. Lord Jim, excellent book. That one, can't remember which copy I had, 1962 probably. I'm quite certain I had 1962. And there's a cover there. Joseph Conrad, Heart of Darkness, superb. Absolutely superb again. And this is the thing, you just go through these, you think, wow, I must read that, because there's only a limited amount of time. You can't read it. I wonder if anyone set a goal to read every single one of the books in here. That would be impressive, but you could do it, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. It's a lot of books. A couple of thousand. Yeah, you could get through those, couldn't you? One a week or 2. Quite a few years it would take, but still, I imagine you could get through it. It's quite often when I'm looking, I was just doing an analysis of, I was working through some, they would come out with 40,000 comic books, DC, that are on auction, and I thought, wow, that would be amazing. But you do a calculation working out how many pages they've got, how many time it would take to read a page, how long it would take you to read, probably about 3 or 4 years to read all those DC comics, 10 hours a day kind of thing. I imagine it would probably be harder to read all these ones, I would have thought. But you can see there, some of the authors I've never heard of. You got here, Heavy Weather. What's that? Who's that by? That old P.G. Wodehouse. No, I've never been a fan of P.G. Wodehouse. I know lots of people love P.G. Wodehouse, but Lady Chastity's Lover, I love D.H. Lawrence, brilliant. Robert Gray's excellent books were I, Claudius, of course, and so on. There's just literally page after page of just absolutely superb story. And also, of course, the artwork is just amazing. The photos as well, because obviously some like photographic covers. You've got there various stories there. John Betjeman. And let's go on to the next bit. You've got Western Europe, so it's not just purely obviously the UK and Ireland, etc. You've got there the other one. Some of the covers just great as well. Quite often when you look at the covers, you think, oh, I must find... It's a pity it doesn't actually say the artwork that's used for the cover. That would be interesting to find. Obviously some famous ones there. You can see a famous one by David there. But that one's... No, I've never heard of him. Anatole, France. I must admit, totally... I should... That's the one. Memoirs of Hadrian. I think one of the great books. Just one of the classics. Remember that cover as well. But as I say, 1959 one I've got. And you've got, obviously, George Simon, Maigret, and Peyton and German ones, and Franks, and Austria, and so on. I mean, this book is just page after page after page. America, of course, you've got America one there. And obviously Japanese, North America, Canada. Again, more covers there. Just the covers are great. I love that one. Robertson Davies. I haven't read any of his works. I'm certain. Amazing. Edith Wharton, The House of Mirth. And it's just page after page. There's about 500, 600 pages of covers and sort of summaries of all these books. John Updike, just brilliant. It actually weighs a ton as well. This is really a real lovely, just quality as well. Just a superb quality book. Let's put that over there. Now, going from that, I must admit, I still quite like lots of this work. I quite often pick up a good old Mills and Boone. You can read them very quickly. And some are actually genuinely very good. There's some less so, but it's still really worth checking. And some of the covers are absolutely amazing. And I did have a lovely similar sort of book somewhere. I don't know what happened to that one. A romance one like that. And there were some romance covers. You can get some really amazing covers. This is a nice quality book. Again, this is from Prestel. You can see there some of the covers on the back. Of course, you had all the hardback ones there. In my house, we had loads of these. My mum read millions of Mills and Boone, as well as Barbara Cartland sort of ones, Victoria Holt, anything. And we also, my nan worked at a local library, one of these sort of bookshop, I don't know what you'd call it, a bookseller. And it was, she always had all these, obviously the sleeves, the covers. And yeah, they were always amazing. I just love, we had millions of them. We just all time, probably some were quite, they were just pristine condition. You just have them just obviously, and we then, I don't know, they just ended up, we put them under the carpet. They're probably still there. I don't know. Maybe there might be millions of these collectible covers under a carpet somewhere. If someone hasn't ever brought the carpet up, they'll find them one day and they go, wow, all these... I don't know why we stuck them under the carpet, but we put them all under the carpet. They were just great. But they were every kind of cover you could imagine. Don't ask me why. Murray Goes the Time. And it just reminds me when I look through these ones, I think, because that was the sort of one you had. You had the, obviously, the wraparound and House of Glass. Now, most of these authors, I have no idea who they are. I mean, they're not particularly ones. And I love the fact they got like the dates here. You've got here Francis Braybrooke. And of course, it tells you the artist as well, all those sort of things. No, it doesn't actually. You'd think it would have told the artist. Maybe that's in the sections. No information about that. Oh, that one sounds good one. Mob Town Clipper. Love for a Ship and for a Lady. S.S. Rabble. Harlequin book. Obviously, they had other there. And you've got Barbara Stanton. Can Love Come Twice? For a Doctor by Day. That looks a great cover, doesn't it? Not your sort of standard Mills and Boone, but still, Pardon My Body. A tough expose of American underworld by Dale Bogard. Yeah. It's possible that was his name. Quite certainly was. Romance Ghost. Yeah. Well, why not? And they've got a circus in the background. That's strange. But anyway, well, I suppose a circus tent, I suppose that's the reason. But what a great title. Romance Goes Tenting. It's got to work. Oh, now this is one I should have bought. Ward to Andrew. That looks a great cover. Constance M. Evans. Just great cover there. The Last of the Kintyres. The Green Parakeets. Nurse at Ryminster. And now you can see the covers changing. The 5 shilling holiday. Imagine the 5 shilling holiday now. That would last all of about 5 seconds, wouldn't it? Doctor at Ryminster. I think that was the same. Oh, Nurse at Ryminster. Obviously a series here. We got Nurse at Ryminster and we got the Doctor. Timberman. Joyce Stingwell. But why not? I think these are great. Keeper of the Heart. Halfway to the Stars. Brilliant. Oh, My Heart's a Dancer. I love the Roman there. It must have been set in Rome, I guess. Possession. Again, lots and lots of covers all the way through this. And, of course, you've got those more familiar covers coming. Actually, let's just have a quick look. The ones I remember, the covers that I liked, always loved, and they're probably... Oh, those sort of covers. I remember seeing a lot of Violet Winspear. Of course, she was one of the big names of Mills and Boone. And that one is, see, Lucifer's Angel. I wonder what that was about. It was nothing probably to do with like the TV series Lucifer, which I loved. Lucifer's Angel. So obviously a different cover on that. 1965. Oh, strange. Okay. But you got that. But a lovely book, all the same. Really worth picking up. I think these copies of this you can find reasonably easily. I love it. And I wish, as it says, unique collection of book covers, often fascinating visual record. And that's what I think of them. I think that there's so many of these sort of companies that produced all these wonderful books. Why are there not collections of all these, like Sphere, like I say, all those sort of ones? I love those ones. Now, this one is not the same, but I just sort of want to point it out because I really love these. And I'm looking forward, hopefully, this is 46. I keep looking out for a number 47. I don't know how regular they come out. I've been thinking, oh, I'll have a look again. No information about a number 47 yet. I hope at some point there will be, because it's just brilliant. And occasionally I think they do include things like that. And you can see spaghetti western tie-ins and things. And they often would have sort of series of various books, obviously from particular publishers. Downsizing. This is the sort of thing you got. See, these ones I would love to see. The Nells. I love those covers. H.P. Lovecraft, they were just brilliant. And of course the Pan books, all those Pan horror ones. Of course, I'm going to come to the Pan one in a sec. I remember that one. Barnabas Collins versus the Warlock. Those great covers, those ones. Oh, superb. Paperback Library Gothic, as it says there. The Hot Sands of Hell. Great title. Oh, that's strange enough. It looks amazingly familiar. Ice Cold in Alex, of course. Though slightly different from the film stars there, I think, but still Christopher Landon. Great film. I love that one. Dime Mystery Magazine. Also horror ones. Oh, what's that ones? New Muse books. Oh, I remember those ones as well. The Black Samurai. King Kung Fu. As well as The Wrecking of Offshore 5. And this one, the reason I bought this one, well, other than the fact I really love the series at Paperback Fanatic. I think it's a great little series. Though I must say, I'm not a mega fan of Amazon books, I have to say. This printing, they always seem, this is the thing. There's always that curl. I wish there was a formula to work out how to resolve that, because it just, people probably maybe put it in hardback, get the hardback one, if there was a hardback one. Oh, look at that, Coffin Full of Dollars. Those sort of ones, of course, the film. $1 Million Blood Hunt. This is great, absolutely brilliant. I thought I got it for the New Wave. So I did see New Wave. Where was that? Let's go back to the front again. Oh, maybe that's strange. It says New Wave Science Fiction. That must be somewhere else. Passed by somewhere. Anyway, that was the reason I got it. New Wave Science Fiction. I love New Wave Science Fiction books. This book, brilliant. Cover Me. Vintage Art of Pan Books. Now, unfortunately, this goes from 1950 to 1965. I bought most of my Pan books, I think, were probably later than that. So it's a pity there's not another book. Maybe there is. Maybe there'll be another volume. Be brilliant. Maybe not. I don't know. Tales of Mystery and Imagination. And just great covers all the way through. The Mystery of the Blue Train, Agatha Christie again. The Latter Days of Colditz by P.R. Reid. Three Came Home, The Diary of Anne Frank. Quite a few, often you see the same sort of books from different publishers. To The Last Man, Zane Grey. Now again, these are actually got quite nice sized covers actually. They're not huge, but so at least they got a number that are big full on covers. The Mask of Dust even. Tales of the Supernatural. Oh, I loved Peter Cheney. Why are there not more books? Peter Cheney. You can find them quite easily. You still can find lots of these, but I love those books. Peter Cheney ones, just superb. An Innocent Abroad. What's this? Pilgrim's Rest. Oh, You'll Die in Singapore, Charles McCormack. And loads and loads, page after page of just great covers and lots of information about all of them as well. That's the thing about this, it's just full. The depressing thing, of course, when you look at these books is that you quite often think, where are they? I would love to pick up a copy of this. The Black Swan. I mean, you look at it and think, wow, some of these covers are just brilliant. Claudel. That looks great cover. The Devil to Pay by Ellery Quinn. And the trouble is now, of course, if you go and try and find a copy, sometimes you find it, but of course, it's a modern reprint, not the old one. You can, of course, but there's so few paperback shops. I mean, one time in Maidstone, where I live, literally, when I first moved back here, there were stacks. Now, obviously, the internet, yeah, obviously. But there used to be, like, literally piles and piles, and it was full on books, paperbacks, and you could go through, spend ages piling up loads of books for next to nothing. So, and lots of them, like, were Pan books. And they were like real, quite often in the US, that sort of very, like they've been through quite a lot of hands. The same, like if you go down to the market, you can still find old copies, real tatty ones, and you feel that sort of like that texture on the book. They're not, they've been read by lots of people. They've been in lots of places. They've got really quite, your fingers quite often end up very black from if you read a lot piles of them. This one's Harold. I mean, just beautiful covers all the same. Just great artwork. Oh, it does actually say in this case, the artist as well, which is always nice. I think that's the one thing that it does actually say, just looking down the bottom, art's by Dave Taylor, which is great. I always think that they should give the artist name. You need credit. Also, like, who did obviously the colours, everything about them. It's just nice to have that sort of information. But this is a beautiful book, and you should be able to pick up copies of this still readily available. But a really glorious book, nice quality one. Again, I would love to see other publishers having these books. Would be absolutely superb. Don't know why they're not more easily found. Now this one is slightly different, cover to cover. This is more a sort of design aspect, but it's still quite a fascinating book, the way it's done. But it's more the design, sort of showing how the process of the work through it. Penguin, obviously Neil Gaiman, and obviously Galaxy there, it's called. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but I mean this sort of thing, the design, the work, actually the work that went into it, obviously the layouts, all those things, fascinating. Oh, the call of, don't ask me, I've never been able to say that, Cthulhu, who, whatever it is. And you can see, Ariel again, that's turned up. You can see all the design work over that, but just stunning covers. I mean, look at that, some of that, the artwork is just superb. And that one you can see in Corner B, down 2nd Avenue. That's glorious, isn't it? Look at that. Provide. And again, you've got these lovely image ones. That's just spectacular. Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, even. Suddenly Huckleberry Twain, I was going to say. I don't think that was the story. Graham Greene, The Power and the Glory. And many others. There's loads and loads of examples always through this. Like I said, it's a slightly... Call of Cthulhu. Yeah, that one. To say. I love H.P. Lovecraft, and I've never been able to, I don't know, I'm certain someone who's really into it will turn around and say, the only person, of course, you would ever find out how it actually was said was from H.P. Lovecraft or someone else, I suppose, that period. But I don't know. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Oh, I mean, just look at that. Beautiful. I mean, I love those embellishments. That is just such a glorious looking cover. Stunning. And again, this is why I love this book. It's just absolutely beautiful. The V there, the X, just great design. And I love design. That's one of the things I do enjoy doing, creating lots of design. Penguin Horror, I mean, this is just, look at that again, some just great covers. This book is absolutely wonderful. So if you're thinking, oh, you know what, this is not really a cover book, this is brilliant cover book. But it is, again, it's more a design sort of book, but still, absolutely, you can see the people, obviously, there, Mike Mignola, James Franco, and so on. Lots of great arts there. And the final one, probably best, last, the Penguin Classics book. Very similar, obviously, to the Modern Classics one. This is just beautiful. This is a quality book. Again, basically a catalogue. So, let's be honest, mate, it's a catalogue. But it's a catalogue that is super impressive and just stands as an amazing document. And probably will never be surpassed in terms of, because, of course, obviously they're always adding to it. They're always discovering, or not discovering, but certainly thinking, we must include X, Y, Z into the catalogue. But basically, the list of the books in here is not going to change that much. Unless somewhere along the line, I always keep dreaming occasionally, that was one of my favourite dreams, was always that you go to Rome and suddenly you fall through a sort of tunnel and you can find a massive library. I know, maybe not everyone's dream, but that would be amazing. Just find millions of the scrolls of sort of like piles and piles of them all piled up. Of course, they're probably all dissolved into dust at that point, but you could find all those untold works. Or maybe they find the library again of Alexandria. It's not burnt down or anything. It was just, they found it at a different level. And they could find loads more books. But I think we probably got quite a lot of the best stuff. But I imagine there must have been some really amazing works that were lost. And so obviously it's not just Greek and Roman and all those sort of things, of course, in here as well. They're obviously my personal favourites, but of course there are many others. Classical Greece there. You've got, obviously, there, Theban plays. You've got See, historical there, and you've got the memoirs of Socrates, you've got also Petronius and Pliny the Elder, and many, many other, obviously medieval Europe. And again, I suppose there must be vast amounts of books, Christianity books of like the medieval ages that haven't been done. I'm quite certain there must be quite a lot they could slot into here and create even more amazing documents of that time. The Vinland sagas. But again, this has got all the covers. It's also got the information as well, which is, I think, is great. And you can see like this one. And some of them, this is the thing that's great about this book, probably totally out of print. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. But that one, it says 1969. I can't imagine it's been reprinted recently. I mean, it's possible. The Laxdale Saga, something like that anyway. And it gives details about it. But 1969, translated by Magnus Magnusson, obviously of a certain TV programme, and also Herman Passon. But still, absolutely brilliant. And, of course, Persia there, and page after page after page. Fiction ones, obviously, Cervantes. And let's go for another page. Maxims, even. Maxims, that sounds like a cafe somewhere, a restaurant somewhere. But still, Pilgrim's Progress. Just absolutely stunning. But again, one of these ones, I wonder if anyone's actually gone through this, ticking them off, tick off. I'm going to read that one, I'm going to read that one, read that one, read that one. I bet some people have. Be hard read. I imagine you could get through this in 10 years, 20 years. I don't know. If you try reading every single one of the books mentioned in here, be a long, long read. But pretty impressive if you did. I don't think I'm going to start. That is one ambition I am not going to go for. Dracula, of course, and you've got here other books, and again, lots of them. And when was Dracula done? So you obviously 1897. It says there 1897. But of course, obviously Penguin didn't publish it then. That was the one that they got here, 1993 and 1979. I must admit, I don't recall those. Of course, Dracula's one of those ones that lots of people have probably published, I guess. D.H. Lawrence. Of course, loads of them. You've got The Sons and Lovers. I loved these ones. Truscan Places, that was brilliant. Sea in Sardinia, Twilight in Italy. I loved all those ones. Selected poems, not particularly into poetry, but still, there's selected poems there. Also selected short stories, Rainbow, Ladies Chattie's Lover. Obviously, that's been done a few times. Actually, saying that, has it been done a few times? Oh, yeah, it has been done quite a few times, just looking down the list. You got here, there was 1960, 1961, of course, 1960 being the famous one. Then Penguin, The First Lady Chatty Lover, 1973, 1994, 2000, 2006. Doris Lessing, George Bernard Shaw, and, of course, many, many others. Loads and loads and loads of great books all the way through this. And it is a really quite nice, hefty tome. Really worth checking out. But as mentioned before, other books about various publishers. Do you know of any? I say Nell would be the one I would love to see. New English Library. Does a book exist of their covers? I would love to see that. Also, of course, many American book company ones like Arkham. Why isn't there a book of all their covers? They must have produced... It's just so odd. And also, of course, things like Gnome, all those very small fantasy ones, they're just brilliant. Oh, I haven't looked for that for a while. But it doesn't have covers. I've got a book of all the small fantasy publishers. But this one, Penguin, just brilliant. Pan one, just brilliant. And like I say, please put some comments about, do you get any of these books? Do you love these books? Or am I the only one that loves them? I do, anyway. Oh, hope you found it interesting. Bye.